Hello. All right, so today is my third video in my series of videos about post-wall content. If you don't know what that is, it's basically content from, I guess, the manosphere more broadly about women who, I guess, had a lot of options when they were younger and have fewer options as they get older. So the first video I responded to I said that like a lot of this content comes across as like a revenge fantasy, and I said it's not like maybe the revenge that people might think it is, because you can't like take away my memories, right? Essentially. The second video, the one from yesterday, I talked about the highest setting, right? So I said it's not, I mean, maybe that's true for some people, but it's not, in my case, and I would imagine in lots of other people's cases, it's not so much getting stuck on like a highest setting, because it seems like we are sort of sticking within our league, so to speak, whatever that might be. But it's just that maybe there's a problem with our league. And that we're all kind of, the onus is on all of us to sort of heal and repair whatever it is that we've done to each other. And hopefully, you know, we can come together at some point. Maybe it's a pipe dream. So today I'm going to talk about something similar, and I'm going to talk about this idea of standards. So you hear, like, in this sort of hit the wall discourse, you hear a lot of people say, look, like older women, their standards get higher as their value decreases. So of course, like, I guess the thing I'm supposed to say is like, oh, no, our value doesn't decrease. And of course, I don't think my value, am I supposed to just like lay down and die because I'm not as pretty as I was when I was 23? Like, I don't know. Like, I think no. I think that's not the way to contribute to the world, right? But anyway, it's this idea that our standards get stricter as our value decreases. So here's what I have to say about that. All right. Let's see if I have any notes. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. So it's a little different from getting the video yesterday where I talked about highest setting. Why is it? So it's similar to the highest setting complaint in that it hinges on us overestimating our value, but it's a little different. And then I had like come back. Maybe y'all know what I meant there. Anyway, so let's just talk about, I'm just going to give you my experience. All right. So I don't think that my standards have gone up. They have maybe become more specific. And I'm not going to maybe go into it. First of all, I don't really believe in standards. It's like, do we click or not? And like, that's kind of it. Okay, but like, who am I clicking with? I think I've gotten a little bit more specific. For me specifically, and I don't know how this generalizes, and I don't know what else to say about it, but for me specifically, you know, I discussed those two long-term relationships that I had. In one of them, I ended it, and like, I'm the villain in that story. And the other one, they ended it, and I guess probably not in their story, but generally, you know, generally they're the villain in that story. And, you know, all these years later, I can say that getting hurt was a lot easier for me to deal with than hurting someone. So like, the person that hurt me, like, I kind of got over that like within a year of that happening, whereas like me hurting this other person, I've never gotten over that, you know? So for me, if I think that, like, I'd rather be with somebody who I can't hurt, and that is probably a big problem and a good reason for me to just focus on myself for a while, right? But that's my story. So how does that generalize? All right, so I think, what did I say here? All right. So yeah, I think a lot of these older ladies are looking back at what they can and can't live with. So it basically, like I think what's going on here is like the same thing that you guys are saying. So dudes in the manosphere are saying like, I'm not gonna have a relationship unless it adds value to my life. And I think that's what like a lot of these older ladies are saying too. So they don't have to necessarily think they meet their own standards. They can just say, hey, look, it's not worth doing unless it's like this. And I feel like that's fine. I don't know what the problem with that is. And I don't even think it entails that they have to be delusional. They can say, hey, I want someone who's better than me in XYZ, and kind of call it a day. They don't have to say, hey, I meet my standards. They can just say, hey, look, like, I'm not interested in anything that drags me down. I only want something that lifts me up. What lifts me up looks like this. Could I do that for someone else? Well, maybe that's neither here nor there. The end. So, I mean, obviously, if like we're actually taking, like, if I don't know, if we really are dating, and I'm kind of not, I guess, I don't know. If we are, like, we should probably think about what we have to offer, those other people. But I don't think that like older ladies necessarily think they're meeting their own standards. I think they just think, hey, look, like, this is what works and this is what's going to make it worth it, and other than that, it's not. So yeah, this, all right. So it's true that you hear women say their value goes up, and in this case, I just want to, do I want to talk about value going up? Not really. I think that's just like the main point, is that like people, women and men, don't want to do something unless they think it's going to add value. And if that means like they narrow their standards as they get older, so be it. So the main difference between yesterday's conclusion is that yesterday I said there's something wrong with our league. Today I said there's something, is it that women are only accepting relationships that add value. Put it together, arguably those of us who ended up single are single for a reason. I 100% grant that. That was the main point of yesterday's video. But that doesn't mean that we have to accept that, I don't know. I don't know what I was saying there. But basically, long story short, people are looking for relationships that add value to their life. They're not necessarily saying that they meet their own standards. I don't know if that's groundbreaking. I don't know if that helps or not, but that's my story. All right.